Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. This is a story, we've touched on this before some time ago, about 3-4 months ago, but it's worth visiting again because the guy involved, Phil Boswell, has basically been doubling down on his ludicrous, mentally ill claims that MI5 have infiltrated the SNP, and it's clearly bonkers. Had MI5 infiltrated the SNP, they'd have done a better job. But he's saying that Nicola Sturgeon has been deliberately lying to people about trying to get Indy Ref 2. He's basically saying that she is a tool of MI5, an agent of MI5. And that it's all been deliberately done to make the SNP look like a bunch of useless idiots. No, they just are a bunch of useless idiots. As I say, if MI5 had got involved, they'd have destroyed the SNP rather than just let it fumble along ruining people's lives. I mean, the SNP, we know MI5 do sort of embed themselves and infiltrate criminal organisations such as the SNP, but not this time. And Phil Boswell really does need to seek serious professional help. Anyway, we'll take a look at the story because just put a smile on your face, I think. Here goes. So, Nicola Sturgeon let MI5 invade the SNP and ruin chances of independence, claims former Nat MP in bizarre rant. And oh look, there's a white van coming to take him off to the farm. I mean, honestly, bonkers. Phil Boswell served as an SNP MP between 2015 and 2017, representing Coatbridge, Criston and Bells Hill. And he accused the former First Minister of lying to Scots and trying to gain a second independence referendum. I think he is absolutely off his trolley, isn't he? There's no way this is true, right? No way. Because if anyone with half a brain was involved at any point in the SNP, they would never have let it get like that. They'd never let people die through ineptitude. And they could secretly have got information and released it. They would have just destroyed the SNP simply by releasing the truth about them. Anyway, Nicola Sturgeon was accused of allowing the Secret Service to infiltrate the SNP and stop independence in a bizarre rant by former Nat MP. Phil Boswell, who also claimed his former boss had lied to the people of Scotland by not achieving her goal of a second referendum. Well, he's right on that one, because undoubtedly Nicola Sturgeon lied to the people of Scotland. She lied about everything, to everyone. She can't help herself. It's all the SNP do, is lie after lie after lie. Why we would be surprised at that, I don't know. Anyway, the former politician was elected to Westminster in 2015 as part of the explosion of nationalist MPs who were elected on the back of the failed Skexit vote, with 50 new seats won. Those were the heady days. Won't see them days again, will we? He was joined in his cohort by the likes of shamed criminal Natalie McGarry and now Alba Party chairwoman Tasmina Ahmed Sheikh. He was quickly turfed out in 2017 when the locals realised he was bonkers when he lost the seat to Labour, and he'd been an avid critic of the SNP for the last few years. This is a man who's sunk into himself, isn't it? I was going to be a high flyer. Oh, he was going to be an MP. Oh, he was going to have a great career. Then he lost. He's turfed out, and then he just sat there, inward looking, got bitter, sad and bitter, and started attacking the party because it's all he's got. Honest to heavens, he's probably off his medications, isn't he? But he was accused of pushing forward tinfoil hat conspiracy theories about why the nationalists have declined so much. It's because people have wised up. It's because the truth has come out. It's because people can see what these people are. They see what they're doing. That's why they're declining. On the Through a Scottish Prism podcast, he went on a massive rant against the SNP leadership, claiming that traitors had taken control of the party and that members had to wake up to avoid a huge downfall. The trouble is, the members have woken up. They've opened their eyes. They've looked around and they've seen the utter devastation caused by the SNP. And that is why they're losing members left, right and centre, and why the funds are dwindling, and why everybody now is just generally fed up to the back teeth, really, sick of the SNP and their 17 years of fail. He also added that he knew Miss Sturgeon would fail to deliver a referendum for Scotland. Nobody can deliver a referendum for Scotland. It's just not on the cards. It's a minority viewpoint. There's no reason for it. You've had one and lost it and don't like it. Why would anyone push another one anytime soon? You're told it was once in a generation. He said, we all knew it wasn't going to happen, because it isn't going to happen, is it? He said, she's a liar, talking about Sturgeon, and she's conning us. Oh, well done. We all know this. We all know that she is an absolute liar and an absolute con merchant. This isn't a surprise to anyone. Wake up, smell the coffee, sunshine. And it says, you need to look at the MI5 intervention and look at the list of individuals employed there. Please, here he goes. Tinfoil hat. It says, the guy who wrote that vow, Murrayfoot, was running the media position and then got promoted to a higher position. Then the MI5 incumbents, you can just see them selling out in the absolute. I mean, in previous years, you used to hang and draw traitors. Now they just get a bonus and a promotion. Oh, he's so bitter, isn't he? He's such a loser. Anyway, he said it's so obvious what's happening here and people just turn a blind eye to it. That loyalty is honourable to a degree, but there's something wrong in the SNP and we either fix it or move on, because we can't continue like that. Disband then, because there's no MI5. Guarantee there is no MI5 in the SNP. As Napoleon said, when your opponent is making a mistake, never interrupt him. You think they're going to put agents in there to change anything while the SNP are continuing to do what they're doing? Of course not. They're just going to sit back and wait, and it'll just implode. And we're watching it imploding because of lies, division, hate, ineptitude, incompetency, stupidity, ignorance, and a loyal devotion to the Catholic Church. If you get that one, well done. And he says, they are lying to the people, but they always have. He says, if we don't speak out for what we believe to be true and stand up for what's right, then we are culpable. But you don't stand up for what's right. The SNP stand up for what's wrong. They stand up for the sexualisation of children. They stand up and support Hamas. These are not standing up for things that are right. This is completely the other thing, isn't it? He says, they say all you need for evil men to succeed is for good men to do nothing. And we cannot do nothing, folks. It's not an option. Actually, people always say that, failure is not an option. Doing nothing is not an option. I beg to differ. I think it absolutely always is an option. Whether you take it or not is a different thing. But it's always an option, isn't it? He's talking rubbish. Anyway, it's not the first time a former SNP has accused MI5 of infiltrating the Skexit movement. Campbell Martin was an MSP between 2003 and 2007 and detailed on his blog he thought the Secret Service had worked their way up the party, were now in leadership positions. And of course it was Campbell Martin who we did the story about 3 or 4 months ago, and his claims of MI5. So now we have this second guy coming in. It is absolutely... I can't even begin to tell you how mad it is. Anyway, he wrote, Campbell Martin, that the SNP is completely compromised. It has been captured and controlled by the British state. The difference between those early days of the Scottish Parliament and today is that the British state assets in the SNP have, over the intervening years, risen through the ranks and now hold senior positions that have allowed them to influence party policies and direction, such as adopting a lack of urgency in delivering independence. These people, they must share a dealer. It's the only way I can think of it. Scottish Conservative MSP Annie Wells said, even by nationalist standards, and let's face it, the nationalists don't have much by way of standards, do they? She said, this is tinfoil hat stuff. Meanwhile, an SNP source told the Daily Mail, baseless and ludicrous conspiracy theories such as this are more to be pitied than scorned. And you really do think that this guy does need serious psychiatric help. If he, I don't know what I did there, if he thinks that this is in any way true, there's no way. If MI5, as I say, if MI5 had got in there and infiltrated the party, they'd have made a better job of it, wouldn't they? He's bonkers. Anyway, I'm going to round off and come up. There must be something in the water. LSD's been leaking in or something, because that's 2 ex-SNP MPs and MSPs and politicians, whatever. that are both claiming that MI5 got involved and that Nicola Sturgeon is acting as an agent for the security services. Now, it may explain why she's never actually been arrested for anything, and it may explain why a lot of things happen that are a bit dodgy. There is that. There is. They've got to give it a 1% chance. But gee, in the round, you've got to say it's absolutely wrong, because if anyone who works for the anyone who works for MI5 is going to be intelligent. Nobody in the SNP has ever shown even the glimmer of intelligence. All their decisions have been wrong. If someone was truly working for the SNP, they'd have done a better job. That's all I say. And of course, they'd have got the secrets out, wouldn't they? They'd have sat there and they've got these secrets. They'd have released these secrets. It wouldn't even exist. The SNP wouldn't even exist if this all came out. So it is quite wrong. Anyway, we'll wait and see who else is going to come out. Aliens next, is it? They're going to be, somebody will release in a few. Alex Salmond will probably come out and say, "My time, I was run as a Soviet agent." How's that? That wouldn't surprise me. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this has amused me. But the guy's clearly bonkers, isn't he? Anyway, until next time, stay safe, stay well, and I shall speak to you later. Bye.